To test the diode, you have always to locate the positive terminal or the anode and the cathode. Always the cathode is marked with a white mark, as you can see over here. So let's check. One probe here in the anode, another probe in the cathode. Do you see we get a 0.2 drop voltage? Means this is a good diode. But if I swap the probes, as you can see, we get upload. We get the reading or the drop voltage in just one direction, 0.2 drop voltage. This is good diode. What about this kind of MOSFET? The same working principle. Always we have gate, drain, source. If we check between source and drain, let's see, we get 0.6 drop voltage. This is good, but once I swap the probes, I should not get anything in the multimeter. As you can see, nothing. But because the MOSFET is connected to the board, it's okay to get a reading. In this case, you have to remove the MOSFET outside the board and test it. Of course, using the diode mode, you can also test 8-pin MOSFET. You have just to locate the pin number 1. You see we have this dot over here, or this white dot means this is the pin number 1. The 3 pins for source, we have the gate and we have the drain. So if we check between drain and source, as you can see, we get a drop voltage. As you can see in the multimeter, 0.5 drop voltage. This is good, but if I swap the probes, I should not get anything. But I get a reading. Why? Because the MOSFET is connected to the board. If I remove the MOSFET and test it outside the board, I will get a reading or a drop voltage in just one side. And of course, we can use the diode mode to check also the zener diode. As you can see, we have just to locate the cathode. This black line means this is the cathode, and over here we have the anode. Let's check. We have 0.6 drop voltage. If I swap the probes, we get already about 1000 because the zener diode is connected to the board. But once you get the drop voltage here, means the zener diode is good. Once you didn't get 0 like this in the multimeter, means the diode is good. The resistance mode. So the resistance mode, of course, very simple. You can just press the range to change the range. So here we have the mega ohm, as you can see. I want to say just ohm. Okay, here we have ohm. So let's check this resistor over here. This is basically a current sense resistor. Its value basically is about 1 ohm. It could be 0.4, sometimes 2 ohm. It's near 0. Okay, so let's check. We have 0.7 ohm. Okay, so this current sense resistor is the component that control and measure the current consumed by entire board. What about these 2 resistors over here? We have 2 R2, means those are about 2 ohm. So let's check. So one probe here, another here. We have 2 ohm. Do you see in the multimeter? We have 2 ohm. Same for this one here. We have 2 ohms. So basically we use the resistor mode to test resistors. So now let's pass to capacitance mode. We have basically the capacitance symbol. So let's test any capacitor here in this motherboard, this one for example, and check. We have about 41 nanofarads. Okay, but for electrolytic capacitor, as you can see here, it's very clear. We have here 330 microfarad, 6.3 volts. This one, for example, we have 100 microfarad, 16 volt, always here in microfarad. But sometimes there is some electrolytic capacitor that hold a code here, no numbers. So in this case, you have to refer to a code table. Every code means a value in microfarad. The most important rule here is that the testing of capacitors away from the CPU and chipsets are different from capacitors near chipset and processors. So the capacitors near chipsets and CPUs, if you get a low reading, that's okay. It's not a short. The real short is when you get 0 in the multimeter. So thank you very much. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me, and feel free to to give a feedback for discourse.